Hello? Oh, I should probably open the dashboard so I can have a chat, and then I'll open the YouTube stream so I can have another chat. What's up, Ninja Leopard? Welcome in. Taylor is first yet again. One of these days, Taylor, you're gonna be late. You're gonna be late, and I know it. Found your first shiny of Kitakami. Nice. What was it? Was it a Slugma or a Coughing or a Whooper or a Spinnerack or a... What the heck? What else is there? Poochyena? Alright, I'm gonna do a distortion though. A shiny Sandshrew. I actually totally forgot Sandshrew was in Kitakami. What's up, Dudley? Yeah, we got shiny Dratini last night. And Mindarome, what's up? And Sfeel, how's it going? Alright. We are gonna do this distortion because it already started. But I got a shiny last night. I got shiny Dratini last night. Which means I actually am hopeful that I can get a shiny Mew. Like, shinies feel possible again. It's crazy. Oh. Nothing. Yeah, shinies do exist. That means Mew is not here today. That's not what that means at all. A lot of times when I drought hard, I get shinies shortly after I drought. It hasn't happened in a while, but a lot of times I will like go really far on multiple hunts and then I'll get them all at once. Or I'll just go really far on a hunt and then my next hunt I'll go really fast. I mean, it's unlikely I get Mew today. But it at least feels possible now. And I can't imagine... the longest... So far, I've been looking up shiny Mews. So far, the longest one I have seen, which I actually didn't watch the video yet, because I was like in the middle of watching the video when I got the shiny Dratini. But it was like 20,000. It was like a little over 20,000. So even if I am the longest for shiny Mew, solid chance it's not that much longer. It's been so long, but Twitch made a premium... It's been so long that Twitch made a premium subscription. Wait, what? Did you just resub? Or are you just saying there's like a new subscription thing? Is it that like Twitch, what's it called? Twitch Turbo or whatever? I get like things for that whenever there's an ad break when I'm watching Twitch, and I'll be like, that sounds good, but how much is it, is the question. I didn't even bother to look, because I'd assume it was, like, super expensive. Oh, hey, I'm not muted? I've been muted one time, Mike. One time. And I apparently would have stayed muted if I didn't simulcast on YouTube. Dude, I am actually getting so much better at maneuvering through this area. It's turbo, just ad-free for everything, 15 bucks a month too. Oh, that's not bad at all. I think it does support the streamer if you watch them. I'm gonna check really quick. Mike Briggs, thanks for the shiny lock. I guess I should do this on another tab so I don't lose the chat. I want to say if I look at, like, analytics, I think there is a thing for, like, turbo earnings. I don't know why this is taking so long to load. It's probably because I'm streaming. Oh yeah, Turbo. Turbo is like this bright yellow. And it tells you how much you earned. I guess it's just when viewers that have Turbo watch you, I would assume. I would assume that's how that works. So that's kind of cool. Maybe I would get that. I don't know, though. I kind of try to limit the amount I pay, like, monthly for things right now. You wish to see the pink noodle? It's on my platinum version. I guess I can pull it up, though. It's evolved into a Dragonair, obviously, as you can see. We won't let you down next time you're muted. Hopefully. I don't believe you, though. Found a Phantom. Nice. This mailman needs to give you your commander deck before you blow a gasket. I need the mailman to deliver a Dragonite card that I ordered weeks ago. I ordered a Dragonite card weeks ago, paid a decent amount of money for what it was, and the person who sold it to me, TJ Thunder, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. The person who sold it to me, like the thing said like arrives essentially last Friday, but it didn't ship until last Thursday. So I'm like, okay, it's not gonna arrive on Friday because that'd be ridiculous. But then I like look, I can like see the tracking, and I put the tracking number in, and it says there's like either there's no valid tracking number or there's just no updates or whatever. And I was like, that's a little alarming. And I waited another week, and I still don't have it yet. And I messaged the person who sold it to me, and they have yet to respond. This was last night though, so now it hasn't been that long, but I figured I would wait another week, and if I don't have it by next Friday, then I will get a refund, I guess, which is disappointing because it was a pretty good quality card. All right, here's the Dragonair. And I got it on my Soul Silver copy, which is ridiculous because Heart Gold is absurdly due for a shiny. My last 3 shinies on Heart Gold Soul Silver were all on Soul Silver. And I'm pretty sure the only shiny the Heart Gold has seen was the Slowbro I failed in 2022 in Safari Week. But one of the phases was the 38,000 Krabby that Soul Silver got. JG, thank you for the shiny luck. You got a white stripe basculin. Are you getting these all shiny? Or are you just finding them? I guess either or would make sense if it's Scarlet and Violet, you know? Yeah, the cursed Heart Gold. In fact, I think Heart Gold has only ever found the shiny Slowbro, because I think the Venonat was on Soul Silver too. Oh, I don't remember. You know what? I should check, though. I just turned it off. I'm going to check. I trade all my Gen 4 shinies to this Platinum. The only one I haven't done yet was the Gyarados I phased with, because I need a nickname for it. I bought it off TCG Player? No, I bought it off eBay. I don't buy off TCG Player because it's hard to gauge, like, what's good or not. Doesn't TCG Player just give you, like, PNGs of the card? Like, I need to see quality. Oh, you're just finding them to register them. I see. I was gonna say, I'm like, White Stripe Basculin, a lot of people struggle with that one because it's only a really small spot that you can find it for, like, a shiny. Okay, wait, I want to see, like, all the shinies I have. The only time you like pink is when it's combined with your favorite color, orange. Pink is alright. It's good in some instances, but not all the time. So the Venonat. If any OT is Nick with the lowercase ICK, that is my Soul Silver, because I don't know why I did lowercase for that one. I always do uppercase. So that was Soul Silver. Oh wait, this was Heart Gold. No, this was this was Soul Silver. This was lowercase. Wait, what? Wait, does that mean the Slowbro was on Soul Silver too? And I just mixed my games up? Maybe the Krabby was on Heart Gold. I guess we'll see what the Krabby was on. Okay, this one was actually Heart Gold because it's uppercase. Oh, I guess I mixed my games around. That's what happened. Okay, never mind. I'm like confused. Okay, so the Krabby, both Krabbies, Muck, and Farfetch'd were on Heart Gold, but everything else was Soul Silver. What was this one then? This one was also Soul Silver. Here's the shinies I have in Gen 4, I guess. And I got these two. Pretty neat. And then I got Razmik. And then I got DNS Exploit Milotic, which is pretty cool, you know. And then I got all these Poke Radar shinies. These aren't shiny, these are just Miracle. Cool. Lowercase looks classy. Yeah, but it's like the only time I've ever done lowercase, so it's kind of weird to like see it like that. Dratini is purple. No, Dragonair is purple. Mike, you're getting it mixed up. You were the one who was telling me Dragonair was pink. The whole debate was I was telling you that in Gen 3, Dragonair is more of a purple color than like usual. And you were like, no, it's pink. And I'm like, no. And then I showed you like a different pink Pokemon. I was like, this is pink. And you're like, no, they look the same. And I'm like, that's wild that you think they look the same. And then I showed Adam, and he was like, it's Razmik Berry. And it was spot on the color of Shiny Dragonair. At least in Gen 3. It got more pink in Gen 4. If it's not listed condition, you have 100% buyer safety guarantee. That just seems like a hassle, though. Buying stuff, having them arrive being like, this is not what I wanted, and then having to, like, return them or something. Red Gyarados, you can name be Kami Koi. Interesting. What does Shiny Ariados look like? I guess it depends on what generation. Like, shiny colors change throughout the generations, but I guess I'll just go off of the home sprite. It's like that borderline, like, pink or purple, kind of like Wailord. I would probably say by default pink, but it wouldn't, like, it's also like purple. It's like a magenta color. Shiny Ariados is cotton candy colored. Yeah, if you have like lemon flavored cotton candy in there too. eBay is a lot worse in my opinion because the odds of you buying fake cards skyrockets. I've never been sold a fake card on eBay. So you just like fake cards are very obvious. I don't know what you guys like. I just don't choose listings that I can't see good pictures of. You know, and you still understand. You do this to me on purpose. Yeah, but why? Why do you just randomly decide to, like, be wrong? Like, that's kind of like a, like, I don't know, it just makes it seem like you're forgetting how it goes. Do you know what I think, Mike? I think the first time we discussed it last night, you genuinely misremembered. And now you're just trying to play it off as though you're just messing with me. Pink, blue, raspberry, and lemon cotton candy. I don't think I've ever seen lemon cotton candy. That being said, I don't really purchase cotton candy that often, so I'm sure it exists. I mean, it definitely exists. Yes, Sfeel, fake cards are, like, super obvious. Best way, so what I do when I look at, like, listings on eBay for cards I want, one, I look for, like, decent prices based on, like, other listings. Two, I look for clear images, see if there's, like, any scratches on the holo. See, like, the main thing I check first is if there's whitening on the back, so I always make sure there's a back picture. And if there's no back picture, I don't even consider it. And fake cards are very obvious if you can see the back of them, because the saturation of the, like, of the print is so, like, obnoxiously saturated. I can actually show you. I actually got a fake card not too long ago. I bought a lot of cards, and it was from just this, like, young kid, so I'm pretty sure he had it and didn't realize it was fake. But it wasn't like I didn't get ripped off or anything. Like, the rest of the lot was like a really good haul. It's just there was 2 fake cards, one of which I knew was, like, obviously fake because it was one of those, like, custom cards. And then the other one I didn't realize until later, but it was like, okay, whatever. But I can show you. I'll show you the difference. Let me go grab it. I put it in this binder because I thought it was, like, goofy. And I'm like, I'll just keep it. I used to have fake cards as a kid. And, well, I just remember when I was pretty young, I went to a flea market in Florida. And I bought these boxes of, like, Pokemon cards. And they told me they were fake. But I bought them anyway. And I kind of regretted it. They were really cheap, though. So it wasn't like I got ripped off. But, it was kind of... I kind of regretted it. But I also ended up getting some cards that were fake throughout the years that were just funny because they were, like, hilariously fake. So I just held on to them, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. Like obviously, like, this Charizard is fake. It's like one of those, like, Etsy, like, custom cards. But I thought it was funny, so I kept it. And then this was the fake one that I didn't realize was fake until I took it out of the sleeve. It's this Tag Team Solgaleo Lunala GX. And I'm going to flip it around, and you guys are going to know, obviously, it's fake. Oh, I guess not. The lighting's terrible. Wait, let me do something really quick. It actually, it doesn't even look fake from this. Do I want to do white balance? White balance is auto. Do Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this justice on this camera. Huh. Well, let me show you a real card. Okay, you can kind of tell. This isn't a sleeve. Let me take it out of the sleeve. Okay, yeah, it's a lot easier to tell now. Look how much, like brighter the fake one is. It also shines a lot more. It's, like, glossier. And also, I mean, it's also smaller than the real card. But, yeah, it's, like, the prints on, like, the backs of fake cards are always, like, super saturated. So that's, like, the big giveaway. So yeah, it's a little hard to tell on this camera, but, like, trust me, like, as soon as I took it out of the sleeve, I was like, oh, this is fake. I knew immediately. Now, where was the sleeve to this card that I had? Oh, here it is. But yeah, so like, obviously, if you see good pictures, I never even consider listings on eBay if there aren't good pictures. So like, if you get good pictures, I always check the back first, because the best way, like obviously like right here, you can see whitening like crazy. This is the fake card, so it doesn't matter. But it's one of those things, like if I'm looking for a near mint or a mint card, I'm gonna want to look at the back first, because that's how you can tell if there's whitening. And if the back looks crazy oversaturated, then I'll know it's fake. I've not gotten a fake card yet from eBay. The worst that's happened to me on eBay is I just never, my order just doesn't arrive, and then I just get a refund for it. All right, let me get rid of this binder. The exposure looks pretty good. I don't know if I adjusted it, but it looks pretty good, honestly. It's a little bright. Let me make it a little darker. I mean, either or is fine on that. Did we get the Mew soon? You got your Deoxys last night after 15,661. Dang. That's crazy. Like, Deoxys is a tough one, too. Congrats. I just got Dragon. Well, it was a Dratini that I evolved to Dragonair. I got that last night after 16,340, so shinies do feel possible. I'm hoping my my drought streak is ending. They didn't even try. Yeah, fake cards are easy to spot. I would imagine there are probably people out there that know what they're doing and can make convincing fake cards. But I feel like if you are that good at doing stuff, you probably aren't gonna be using your skill to make fake cards. Like, people who scam people are like people who have no talent, no skills, and like just try to make a quick buck. People who actually have the talent are not gonna waste their time scamming people. So it's pretty easy to spot fake cards. You're also primarily a Magic player, so buying cards off TCG players is better for you. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sure TCG players like really good for like just for playing the game, just getting cards you need for a deck. But I don't play the game. I like to collect, so I always got to like make sure I'm getting what I want. That's like a good quality. Yeah, shinies do come true. Fake Magic the Gathering cards are possible to tell without a jeweler's loop. That's crazy. What is a jeweler? I can't even say that word properly. A jeweler's loop. What is that? What even is that? I've heard of it before. What does that do? Four gold squares in the back for all Gen 5 cards and 3 gold circles for Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. What? Oh, we're talking about cards. We're not talking... Sorry. I actually get how you're confused. We're talking about Pokemon cards, not carts as in cartridges. That's what geologists use to identify fakes. So yeah, but like, what is it? Like, what? Like, how does it work? Yeah, I know how to spot fake cartridges. What do you mean by the 3? Where's my ruby? What do you mean by the 3 gold circles? That on the back? Oh yeah, I would have never even thought about that. I always just look at the rectangle. Yeah, I guess there's three circles right there. Interesting. It's an over-glorified magnifying glass. That's crazy. I went to, when I was in high school, we went to this, I was in a graphic design class, and for like the first week of school, we went on this field trip to Chicago. And we went to this thing, it's called the Graph Expo, and it was essentially just like an expo for people that like make prints and stuff. But it was more like business. It wasn't like people printing like crazy shirts and whatnot. It was more like brochures and whatnot. Like it wasn't like the most exciting thing, but it was by no means boring. And you would just like go to booths and they would just like hand you these like just like little trinkets and whatnot. And I got this like magnifying glass that you use to like view the printing dots on prints. And I use it for like looking at imperfections in Pokemon cards if I want to like. I also used it to see if my like Gen 4 cartridges are fake. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. It's pretty cool. Like if I see like a mark on a card, I want to see if it's like a printing error or just like a stain or something. And I use that. No, it's all good, Poseidon. It is funny though, because I would have never even thought. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? But it does sound like we're saying like carts, fake carts, but we're talking about cards. Allows you to see the inside of the gemstone to tell what cut and what dimensions that the prisms are real. I assume it is by no means. I by no means am an expert, even though I have a degree in geology. Dude, imagine I got shiny Mew. It's gonna happen soon, guys. It's gotta. Using it to check if a Tadbulb is shiny. Is Tadbulb really that hard to spot? I feel like I would see the red pretty easily. I know some people have a hard time seeing red, but... I've never seen a shiny Tadbulb in-game, so I wouldn't know. MTG players use it to find specific ink print inside a specific circle on the back of the card, and if it's not there, it's not real. Interesting. Problem is Tebo is so small, same would deal with Flabebe. Yeah, I was when they did the first event with the boosted odds shinies that included Litwick, Flabebe, and Milcery. I tried to hunt the Flabebe, and I can't even say like I was getting unlucky. The issue is when a Pokemon's that small and that hard to tell, you just lose a lot of encounters by like looking closer at them. So I was like, yeah, this isn't worth it. That's why I did Litwick. You call it the green dot test. Yeah, for me, it's just like if the card looks like I've never even seen a listing for like an egregiously fake card on eBay for Pokemon. But obviously, the way people scam on eBay, they don't sell fake cards. They just sell cards saying they're better quality than they are, or like better condition. So like there's times where I'll like see a listing for a card and it'll say like near mint. And I always look at near mint because when you try to like get a good quality card, near mint means anywhere from like in terms of, we'll just say PSA because I'm used to grading with PSA, anywhere from an 8 to a 10. Like near mint could be 10. I have bought some. I mean this Mew I bought on eBay and it got a 10, and I'm pretty sure it was listed as near mint. Because if you search for mint condition, you're either gonna just get already graded cards that are way more expensive, or you're going to get people that assume when they are mint condition that they're way more expensive than they are. So I always search near mint, and I've gotten some crazy, like, really perfect cards just looking up near mint listings. And there's times, though, where I'll look through listings and things will be listed as near mint, and you'll look and the picture will be, like, slightly blurry, and I'm pretty good at spotting it, but, like, there are some listings I see where, like, there'll be, like, creases in the cards. And, like, they try to hide it, and you can tell they're trying to hide it. That's how people scam on eBay. I've seen people, like, on Twitter, they'll buy a card on eBay, and they'll say, like, I guess this is considered near mint to some people, and it'll be, like, a terrible condition card. And I've never had that issue, because I look closely at the things, I look for what I want, and, if I see just not good photos, I don't even consider it. You only got scammed in IRL from a deli store where you live. The Pokemon cards has an HP of over 10,000. Yeah, those are those like goofy fake cards. I actually went to it wasn't a card shop, it was a comic book shop, but they had Pokemon cards, and one of the cards, first of all, they were like really overpriced. They had some graded cards that were, I would say, probably fairly priced, because they had like a black label shiny Gardevoir full art from Paldean Fates, and they said like it was listed as 100, and they said they would like barter for it, like they would like take offers on it. I'm like, I was like, oh, that's pretty good, but I'm not like in the market for that right now. But I like looked through one of their cases, and they were listing, like, they had like that, what is that one card, the like swirly thing from base set? It's like a warp, or it might not be base set, it might be like jungle or something. This just like trainer card from like an older set, and it was listed for $30, and I was like, dude, no trainers unless they're like first edition or and pristine condition should be worth $30. And there was also a fake card that was listed for $30. I like looked at it and I was like, what the heck is this card? And it was like the base set Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise like all combined into one, and it was in Japanese. So I was like, is this some like really oddly specific card that I've never heard of, or is it fake? And I did like a quick Google search, and it was like an Etsy card, and I'm like, why are they? And it was listed for $30. I was like, first of all, they're like selling these not worth it cards for $30, which is ridiculous, and they're selling fake cards. Like, do they even know? I'm gonna get it on 17,080. I doubt it. You haven't heard of it, the reserve list, why Black Lotus is like $20,000 for one card? I'm not familiar with Magic, like, at all. I've heard of Black Lotus. I have no idea what it is, though. Like, I've heard the term. Yeah, so it was funny. So I was at this comic shop, and they were like these very average cards that were like listed so much. And then I went to an actual card shop like down the road, and then they had like really good deals on cards. I was like, I'm glad I went here. I got like these. There was these. I told the person who was at the counter, I was like, oh, I'm trying to fill out like a Pokedex of Pokemon cards. And they're like, oh, you're trying to get all 1,000 Pokemon? I was like, I'm also going for, like, alternate forms. And then I started talking about Unknown, and I'm like, oh, yeah, do you have any Unknown cards? And he, like, pulled up this he had, like, a laptop that was, like, a system. It was like, oh, yeah, just look for the Pokemon, and it'll show you everything we have of that Pokemon. And I looked up Unknown, and I got, like, first edition Unknowns from, like, the Neo sets for, like, a couple, like, 30 cents a card. And they weren't, like, in great condition, but, like, that's just, like, that was what was crazy. I was getting, like, first edition Unknown cards, one of which was a non-first edition, but it was a holographic Unknown. and they were like, I think the holo was like $4, and the other ones were like 30 cents a piece. And then like the other side of the coin was that comic shop that was selling like worse cards for more money. I was like, for like a lot more too. Like I don't know who's gonna be buying the freaking warp thing. I think it's called like energy warp. What was it called? It's the one that looks like a swirly. I don't know what it's called. No, it's just warp energy. What is I don't know if it was from base set. Well, I guess I never tweeted the stream out. I guess I'll do that now. I always do that. I go live, I have like a pre-made tweet to show that I'm live, and then I like forget about it. But they had like that card, and I didn't even, like, I didn't bother, because I was like, okay, it's an energy. I didn't even want to look at the condition. Is it in base set, or is it a different set? Oh, it's the energy removal. Wait, do I have the energy removal? Oh, I guess I already have energy removal. So it was the energy removal from base set. And they listed this card for $30. I was like, I don't know. It's a common trainer card. Let's see pricing. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Pricing. Oh, it's so bright because of the thing. It's okay, I'll just read it to you. It says 8 cents, 39 cents. For some reason, eBay's $5. And I'm like, dude, no one, like, I was blown away by that. And then they had a fake card listed for $30. It was crazy. I think it's just the owner just didn't, like, know. He probably just didn't understand Pokemon cards, really. Because it, like, blew me away. Because, yeah, he had, like, a few great... It was mainly a comic book shop. So it was, like, all comic books, and then there was, like, a little bit of, like, Magic and Pokemon cards and stuff. But, yeah, I thought that was wild. Like, $30 for a trainer card, even though it's from base... And, like, base set cards are not expensive unless they're, like, Charizard holographic. Like, I'm not even kidding. You can buy, like, a regular, like, holo from base set that's in decent condition for, like, 10, 15, 20 bucks. So, like, that just blew my mind. It was, like, a trainer for $30. Supposed to be mid-90s here next week. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to be hunting Safari Zone in the blazing heat in this room. Going to have a heat stroke or whatever. Because every time it's Safari Week, we get this crazy heat wave here, and then my bedroom is already like way warmer than any other room in the house. The best was 2022 because our AC was broken and it was awful. So yeah, it like never fails. It's always super hot for Safari Week for me. Yeah, clearly it's real. Juan, thank you for the shiny luck. Should you chant for shiny Mew to arrive? Yeah, but if there's people around you, they might give you looks. Casual 30,000% markup, yeah. I didn't even look at all the cards, like I didn't look at the prices or anything, because they were just like... I'm looking for, like, specific stuff. Like, if it's either going to be stuff I need for my Pokedex or, like, stuff I need for, like, specific sets or, like, Dragonite or whatnot. So, yeah, I didn't even, like, look at the other one. I mean, they had, like, some Paldean Fate shinies, like, baby shinies, but, like, everything in that case was, like, $30. And I'm like, dude, I just bought a, not, like, a crazy card, but it was the Mega Charizard Y from Evolutions, because it's one of the few Evolutions cards I'm missing for the full set at the other shop in like mint condition, and it was $25. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I saw that on eBay not too long ago for like 30 some dollars. The Power 9, the 9 most powerful cards in the game, are never being reprinted, and they only have 2 printings of each version, so they go for 400 easy, except for the exactly Black Lotus and Tyne Walk. So, like the 9 most powerful cards, that seems kind of scummy if you're, like, into competitive. Like, literally, they just, like, don't print the best cards in the game so that they make the market go crazy. That is kind of weird. Oh, it just turned to thunderstorm. No, no, it's fine. We get more Mew encounters. What's up, Red Ninja Dan and St. Paul Septiles? Congrats on being featured in Jay Wood's video. Yeah, he. Do you know what's funny? I didn't know what video he was making. He emailed me. When was it? He emailed me like. Oh, it was literally a year ago. So like when he said he was working on that video for a year, that's actually real. He emailed me like a year ago because it was like I was like playing GoFest, Global GoFest, and I didn't respond until after. And I was like, "Oh, sorry for the late response, but yeah, you can." He was like asking, he's like, "I'm making a video on like rare shiny Pokemon, and I'd like to use footage from your video." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." That was literally a year ago. I had no idea he was making a shiny Manaphy video, and then he. I'm not gonna spoil it. But it was pretty funny, the ending. But yeah, like, when he says he was working on that for a year, he's not lying. He emailed me about it, like, almost in a full year ago. How does one actually get the Mew Invent and Emerald Action Replay only? You can use Action Replay, you can use Ace, apparently, and then I used the Double Corruption, like, Pomeg glitch in these Spanish copies. So there's a few ways. You can use, like, I guess, you can probably use, like, an R4 card to distribute it to yourself. You have to wear dressy clothes all day, but is the room you're in, is it gonna be the same temperature as the air outside? If not warmer? Because that's the issue with my room, is that it's, like, it gets so hot in this room. I'll step outside, and it'll be like I'll step outside my door. Outside my bedroom door, and it'll be like a blast of cool air, and it's unreal. Bones, thank you for the shiny luck. You're gonna be Patrick from SpongeBob when he's suffering the heat. Oh yeah, where he doesn't have any water. Most Magic the Gathering tournaments only allow cards released in the last 2 years anyway, so those powerful. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, that'd be weird. Oh yeah, so they're okay. That's kind of how like Pokemon does it. I don't keep up with Pokemon, but I know there's only like the cards that are legal in like the main format are like I know like half of the Sword and Shield sets now are like not legal anymore. But you can have like an open tournament where anything's legal, even like base set, even though you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. You're here now, you're the shiny luck. Hopefully you're right. Oh yeah, Bones, it's the burn strat. So, Mind of Rome let me know about this strategy for Mew to ensure that it can't kill itself, because Mew gets Metronome. And before this burn strat, I don't know how well known it is. I got it from Rome in chat. But essentially the way it worked was before the people would hunt shiny Mew, and it was like, all right, if Mew does Metronome and it rolls for, like, Roar, I'm just going to use a Tangela with the move Ingrain, or, like, some, like, Bellsprout with the move Ingrain, so that Roar doesn't affect it. But it's like, that doesn't account for if it uses Self-Destruct, or Explosion, or something like that. So, some people will run a Pokemon with the ability Damp, but that doesn't, like, you know, if it rolls Roar, you're still screwed. But with the Burn strat, unless you mess up, you are guaranteed to catch it without it, like, blowing up or anything. So the way it works is... I'll do a little play-by-play. I'm not going to actually do it, but I'll show what I'm going to do. Currently shiny hunting for the Pokemon Ranger Manaphy egg today. What's up, Aragon? So you're actually going for the Manaphy, dang. I do that Jay Witch video, it's like, I kind of want to go for it soon. Been watching Jay Witz for 10 plus years, and you saw the video ending either way. Yeah. They are Mega Band everywhere else, including Commander, the most popular format. Interesting. Finished your Violet. You finished your Violet Living Form decks. Now you're on the Legends Arceus. Nice. Good luck. If Mew is risky, then I will pull the Shiny Collector Classic. What's the Shiny Collector Classic? But anyway, so the way it works is both of these, and they don't have to be shinies. They don't even have to be these Pokemon. It can just be any Pokemon that you have burned that is in low enough HP so that the burn will kill it in the first turn. So this move is Taunt. Mofa. That's Taunt. They both have Taunt. Turn 1, we go for Taunt. And that forces, because Metronome is a status move. And the only moves Mew knows is Transform, Metronome, Mega Punch, and Pound. And if you use Taunt, Transform's also status. If you use Taunt, it means Mew will either not do anything turn 1, or use Pound or Mega Punch, which will either kill your Pokemon. In this case, it won't because I'm using Ghost types. But turn 1, Mew can't use Metronome or Transform. Then it may kill your Pokemon, it may not. If it doesn't, you still have the burn that will finish off your Pokemon, and then you won't waste a turn swapping in. Then you swap into a Smeargle that has the move Metronome, Mega Punch, and Pound. And Imprison. So the first move up here, the Psychic move, is Imprison. Then there's Mega Punch. Then there's Metronome, then Mega Punch, then Pound. All these 3 moves are what Mew knows besides Transform. And Imprison forces Mew to not be able to use anything but Transform. And since Mew's still under Taunt, it won't go to Transform that turn anyway. Then you swap into just completely random high catch rate Pokemon that has no move that will kill itself. In this case, I'm using a Wurmple. And by then, Mew's Taunt wears off. And it will be forced to use Transform because you used Imprison as the Smeargle. Mew doesn't know you're swapping into a different Pokemon, so it's not going to pick anything other than Transform. So it forces it to transform into, in this case, Wurmple. And by then, Wurmple can't kill itself. It is very easy to catch. Then I just swap into this Smeargle that has False Swipe Spore, and then it'll be like a 1-ball catch no matter what. So it's like a guaranteed catch for Mew. Absolblog Shiny Regirock video reference. It's been a while since I've seen a Shiny Regirock. Didn't he kill it? Didn't he kill the Regirock first? With like a crit or something? Which is like hilarious, because like he's the kind of guy who would know not to do that. You take that lie back. You forgot about Vintage Cube. That's a busted limit format. Honestly, you could be speaking like anything that's like completely false about Magic, and I would probably believe you. You get to peep Shiny Wurmple. Yeah, but if I catch Shiny Mew, I get to peep any Shiny Pokemon. And I can already do that because I have a Shiny Ditto in Gen 3 anyway. You have a good feeling about today? This is the day Mew shines. That'd be crazy. I say to remove all the normal risk involved, and it's a really good explanation. Alright, let me do something really quick. Just had to close my door. He killed the Regirock, and then someone on someone's Twitter burner account made the infamous Shiny Collector Classic copy pasta. Oh, I never knew about that. Whoever thought of this entire strategy is absolutely absurdly insane. Was it not Mind or Rome? It was you, right? Did you come up with it, or did you hear it from somewhere else? So I mean, if you came up with it, Sfeel just called you insane. This feels a little bit delayed though, because I literally left for half a second, and then like 3 minutes later, they're like, no, come back. I don't think I'm getting shiny Mew today, but I'm a lot more optimistic after getting the shiny Dratini. My Elgato might be delayed. Let me fix this. Hopefully it doesn't crash stream. And I only say that because it had happened one time. No, I think we're good. Sometimes you can just like refresh the device to like stop the delay. I did that one time on stream and it just completely crashed like my whole computer. Like it was so crazy. So now every time I'm like live when I do it, I'm like, all right, there's always a chance. The 10 stream streak, nice. The amount of effort and thought process that went into making up that whole strategy is so pure genius. It's insane. Also, you're not on delay. I thought you were leaving for 10 minutes. Yeah, but it was like a few minutes after I was already back when you said it. Plus, it takes a minute to get to me. Yeah, I don't know how the like burn strat was thought up. It is kind of crazy. I have toyed with the idea of imprison, but to like think about like how exactly taunt works and like the fact that you can force it to use, like I didn't even know metronome was status. I just assumed metronome was an attacking move because like half the moves you get with it are attacking moves. So like I would have never thought to like taunt with a Pokemon that is guaranteed to die that turn. And part of the reason I'm using the ghosts is because Shuppet and Banette learn taunt, obviously, but also they learn Will-O-Wisp, and in order to burn them, all I did was find Abras with Synchronize and use Will-O-Wisp on them. So it makes it like a little easier to set up. The only issue is that Abra is only like, I think it's like a 10% in Emerald. And then half the time, and when I say half the time, that's what it should be. They get the ability, what is the ability? Whatever the other ability is that Abra gets that isn't synchronized. It's, gosh, it's the ability Dragonite gets. Inner Focus. I was like, what is the ability? I'm like, I know what it is. And for some reason, it usually takes me like 5+ Abras to find a synchronized one. Like, I don't know what it is. Or like the one time I know it's going to be a synchronized Abra, I'll miss Will-O-Wisp. And then it'll teleport. So like I say it's easy to get these guys burned, but it kind of isn't. But it's all just like RNG. Can't wait for Safari Week to begin, -1 day off for you because of your graduation. I'm starting Safari Week on Monday because I'm going to miss the last 4 days. I want to get those 4 days in. Feel the same thing about people who come up with speedrun strats. The amount of time it takes to think of a way to beat the game faster just makes it crazy. Yeah. I could... Speedrunning is so interesting. I have never been interested in speedrunning Pokemon. Not only is it like... I'm not like I don't do speedruns, but I'll see like Mario speedruns and think, oh, it'd be cool to like practice some of these strategies. But like Pokemon, dude, I don't know how people do it. Literally, trying to speedrun a game that is 100% RNG is just I don't know how people do that. They're way too strong to be able to do that. Another streamer named Orthos and I had to try a few things before we came up with the burn. Okay, so it was a group effort. That makes more sense. Because I could have figured out, Imprison, like the Imprison Smeargle with the other 3 moves. But I still would have been like, alright. Like, I wouldn't have thought of, like, a taunt Pokemon with a burn. Because I would have been like, okay, but what if it goes for Transform first turn? Like, which, to be fair, if you can technically lead with the Smeargle. No, you can't. I was gonna say, I'm like, you could lead with the Smeargle. Well, I guess you can. You can technically just lead with the Smeargle with Imprison, Metronome, Mega Punch, and Pound. And then Mew will transform into that Smeargle, but if you use Imprison, it will... Oh no, because it'll struggle, won't it? I guess you would have to swap out, but then if you do, then it would still risk it using Metronome, so it wouldn't really solve it. So yeah, I think that's why I couldn't figure it out, because, like, you get to that point and you're like, well, that doesn't solve Metronome. It solves Metronome for, like, 1 turn, and then the rest of it is, like, you still have to deal with it. Because, yeah, if you use Imprison and the Pokemon shares every single move that you do, it'll just struggle. Even having, like, full PP. Worcester's Pokemon speedruns are fun. I've just never been interested in speedrunning Pokemon just because I've never been the biggest fan of, like, playing through Pokemon games. And just how it's, like, pretty much 100% RNG. I say 100%, but that's just, like... Obviously, there's strategies and stuff that aren't RNG, but, like, in order to get anything going, you just have to be lucky. Like, you gotta find the Pokemon you're looking for first try, or, like, you know, like, it just... And then there's critical hits, like, you just gotta hope the opponent doesn't use the right moves. Like, it's just too much, man. But isn't Transform a status move? Wouldn't Tom prevent that? No, I'm talking about, if you were to only lead with the Smeargle. But yeah, Taunt prevents that, but by the time you get to the Wurmple, in the burn strat, by the time you get to the Wurmple, Taunt only lasts 2 turns in Gen 3, guaranteed. It's not like a range. It's guaranteed 2 turns. So by the time you get to the Wurmple, Taunt's worn off. And then it'll be forced to turn into the Wurmple. Because it's not going to pick Metronome, Mega Punch, or Pound, because you are starting the turn with the Smeargle out that imprisoned all the moves. Besides Transform, so it's just going to go for Transform. Want to meet the guy who found Shine You Skip in KH2? You want to shake their hand? Yep, no idea what that is.
This does put a smile on my face.
I know what game you're talking about, but I don't know. I've never played that. Frisky Chicken, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Any hopes for the upcoming Nintendo Direct? I mean, maybe some info on Legends ZA. Other than that, out of stuff that I've heard, like, I don't know, there's this guy I follow on YouTube that I just watch because it's just, like, he just does discussions about, like, kind of like leaks, but a lot of times the leaks are fake, but he just kind of goes over any news that, like, could be discussed in a Nintendo Direct. So it's always kind of fun to see, like, what people are kind of saying and being like, all right, maybe we'll get this. Out of what, like, is kind of, like, been said that I really want is the Twilight Princess and specifically Wind Waker HD. There's been rumors that those are getting Switch ports, but they've been rumors for, like, years, and they haven't happened, so I don't know. But that's like one thing people are talking about. I used to have Wind Waker when I was a kid, and it was so, like, I was just so dumb that I didn't know how to beat it. Like, I got stuck and I never beat it, and that's just a game I really want to revisit. And I just don't own a Wii U, so Not buying a Wii U for it. Other than that, like, they said there's not going to be anything relating to the next Nintendo console in the Direct, so, like, any, like, big thing is just not going to happen. Like, they're not going to announce, like, the next Zelda game or the next Smash Bros. Game or the next, like, 3D Mario game, so those will probably be the next console, so I doubt they'll do any of that. It'd be cool if they revealed the next console at the end of it, but I don't know if they will. There's a fine line between people's own wishful thinking and Switch leaks. Yeah, I know. That's why I like watching this guy discuss it, because a lot of it is just like speculation, and there'll be like some leaks that end up being real. But, you know, a lot of times it's just like, all right, some people that have like good sources are saying it might be something related to this, and then they'll just like speculate as to what it could be, and it's like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah. Yeah, I think as of now, the thing I want most for them to like add to the Switch would be like the Wind Waker HD remake. I just want to like actually play that again as that I tried as a kid. Essentially what happened, and I don't know much about Wind Waker because it's literally been forever since I played it. But, like, my brother and I, we bought Wind Waker so long ago. Obviously for the GameCube, so that it was very long ago. And we beat, it was like that one dragon. There's that dragon, forget the name. Again, I'm not going to know, like, anything about it because I haven't played it in years. There's, like, this dragon in, like, a volcano kind of thing that you have to beat. And it took us forever to figure out how to beat him. And we finally did. And we're like, oh my gosh, we can progress in the game now. And then we got to this one island that made a rainstorm that lasted forever. And at that point, we had no idea where we're going because everything was just shrouded in a storm. So, like, we just didn't know what to do. We were just stuck around a storm. There was probably something we had to do on that island. And don't tell me if you do know what you had to do, because if they add it again, I'm going to want to figure it out for myself. But, yeah, essentially we just were, like, sailing around in a storm, not knowing where to go for, like, ever. And then we're just like, all right, we're not beating this game. So we got rid of it. Oh, he's not the boss? I thought you had to, like, attack him, though. I knew he was, like, stuck in it. You had to, like, I thought you had to, like, attack his butt or whatever. But I always thought he was, like, a bad guy. And also, with, like, the art style of Wind Waker, we just assumed it was going to be, like, a, you know, not super complex game. How wrong we were. You're hoping for a new Pokken? I feel like they totally could, but also they won't do a new Pokken. I don't know. I feel like we would have gotten a new one by now if they were planning on making a sequel. Especially because, like, what? It's already been, like, a year or two since they stopped doing Pokken at, like, the World Championships. Uses tail to whip as a whip target to beat the actual boss. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I remember beating that part, though. And it just took us forever to figure out. So many ways to get stuck in Zelda games, yeah, for real. Gosh, when I played Breath of the Wild the first time, it took me forever to figure out how to get off the stupid plateau because I didn't know that if you just ate, like, hot peppers, you could go in the ice area, even though it's literally part of the tutorial, and I just don't think I read it or something, and I was like, how do I get to the shrine? You never played Wind Waker? I played a very small portion of it. I also remember we went to the island where, like, where Ganon was, and died immediately. Because, like every other Zelda game, you can go to the final boss anytime. You just won't be prepared for it. So we went to the island where, like, it was like, oh, you need to save Zelda. Go to this island. And you go to the island, and you just, like, get obliterated, and it's like, okay, maybe we're supposed to do something else first. We tried, like, a bunch of times. You're stuck in Ocarina of Time because you can figure out the Shadow Temple. I don't remember the Shadow Temple. It's been forever since I played Ocarina of Time. And I'm gonna mention a spoiler about Ocarina of Time for those who are still like playing it or whatnot. But this was the most absurd thing ever. My brother and we would play it. I have it on the Wii. So, like, I didn't have the original on the N64, but when they added it to, like, the eShop on the Wii, I got it. And my brother and I would, like, play through it. And, you know, like, there were hard levels and whatnot, but we always eventually got through them all. But then there's this mechanic in Ocarina of Time that is very well established. Like, you know exactly what it means, but anytime there was, like, a spider web, you knew you had to light the spider web on fire in order to, like, get past it. And we play through all the game. We get to Hyrule Castle, ready to fight Ganon, and there's a spider web on the ceiling. And we're like, how the heck are we supposed to hit this? Like, there's got to be some sort of fire arrow, right? Like, how would we have missed it, though? Like, we're trying to figure out, like, there's got to be a fire arrow. That's the only thing we can think of that would, like, allow you to burn something on the ceiling. And we looked forever and ever trying to find this fire arrow. And eventually we looked it up. And let me tell you, we look at this, it was like an article or something. It wasn't like a video. It was like, all right, you need to go to the Zora domain or whatever. And there's this little peninsula with a platform on it. And we're like, oh yeah, it's like there's an arrow here or whatever. Maybe we have to, like, this is the fire arrow. And the way it says, like, what you need to do is stand on the platform and look at the sun when the sun was at, like, a specific point in the sky. And then you'll get a fire arrow. And we're just like, that's the most absurd thing ever. This isn't real. There's no way this is real. Might as well try it anyway. And it actually worked. And I was like, okay, what the heck? It's not even like obviously there's a hint at, like, all right, this platform essentially tells you, like, fire arrow here. But, like, there was nothing that would have told you to look at the sun in a very... It was like, it wasn't even just look at the sun. It was like, when the sun hits this point in the sky, that's when you have to look at it. It was absurd. That was the only thing we looked up in the game, because we beat through everything else. That was the only thing we got stuck on, because we just... And then after we looked it up and did it, we're like, yeah, we would have never done that. Like, I'm glad I looked it up. We would have never figured that out. But other than that, Ocarina of Time was great. Yeah, I don't need a tutorial. It's like Pokemon. Pokemon forces it. I've been conditioned by Pokemon where it's like, it forces this tutorial upon you that's like the same about every other game. It's like, I don't need this. So then you, like, button mash one line of dialogue in a Zelda game, and it ends up being the most important dialogue of your life that you happen to miss, and you're just like, what the heck? Dude, yeah, I remember the water temple. The water temple was awful. But Ocarina of Time was so cool. Like, figuring out how to unlock all the different tunics and stuff in order to, like, traverse different areas. That was so cool. That game was definitely, like, ahead of its time. It's still regarded as the best Zelda game of all time. And it's, like, one of the only Zelda games I've played. I've never played Majora's Mask. I've never played Twilight Princess. I've never played Skyward Sword. I've never played any of the, like, handheld ones. Never played, like, any of the original Zeldas either, like the 2D ones. Oh, that's what it was. You have to shoot an arrow into the sun. That's what it was. It wasn't look at the sun. It was shoot an arrow into the... Yeah, so even more absurd. It was shoot an arrow into the sun when the sun was in a specific spot in the sky. And it was like... We're like, there's no way this is real. Because this was also the era of, like, oh, how to get Mew 3 in Pokemon Ruby. You know, where, like, every video on YouTube was, like, some obviously fake thing that we just bought as kids and just didn't realize were fake. So, like, when we read that, it was like, there's no way this is real. But we might as well try it just to, because, like, we're out of options here. like, that's, like, literally what happened. Someone knows how to work the disguise game in Purple Place on Steam. Wait, what? I don't know, I don't know the disguise game. I don't know what that is. Basically, Mario Maker, hidden block key, except a Zelda fire arrow. Yeah, it was ridiculous because it wasn't just like shoot an arrow at the sun. It wasn't just stand on this platform and shoot an arrow. No, it was like stand at this platform, wait for a very specific time to happen, and then shoot an arrow at the sun. And it was like, all right, I could believe part of that, but all of that together, I was like, there's no way this is real. Yeah, that was another thing. Like, you're joking around about, like, an arrow reaching that far, but, like, that was another thing. We were not, like, like, do you realize how absurd it is to, like, oh, shoot an arrow at the sun? Like, there's, like, all right, we're gonna shoot an arrow. It's gonna completely not even come close. and then we're gonna be like, why did we do this? What's up, Star Wars? Welcome in. Yeah, it was ridiculous. MC, thank you for the congrats. Yeah, I'm pretty happy I finally got something. It was the last one bought in that set, too. I would buy all of them. I had 2 games, and I'd buy 5 on each game, so I was getting like 10 every like set. And I would check the left game first, and then on the right game, it was the last one. Like, I was almost like getting ready to reset. Doesn't it give you arrows and the stone slab you stand on in the middle is a riddle about a morning sun? Is there text for it? I don't know. There was I know there's like a symbol on the slab. I don't remember what it was though. We were also children. This was like 2008. You could read it. If it was a riddle, we probably didn't understand it. Unless we did, but it was like we didn't get all of it. Because I want to say we were thinking to shoot an arrow at the sun, and it didn't work, because it wasn't like a specific time. No, I know it wasn't impossible, but we were children, and this was an era where everything on the internet was fake. And when we hear that, when we read this thing that's like, this is what you do, and it sounds that absurd, we were like, 1, this is probably fake. And then we found out it was real, we're like, we would have never thought to do this. And then we beat the game, like, really easily after that. I don't remember much about Ocarina of Time. It's been so long since I played it. But I'll never forget that, because it was just so ridiculous. I should stop recording, because if I get a shiny, I don't want this to be an hour and 12-minute recording. We believed that once the rocket countdown in Moss Deep hit 0, we were going to spit. Dude, everyone believed that. That was something that was believable, though, because it was like, there were times where you were like, wait, that the thing is counting down. You know? We're like, wait, the number is different now. No, but like that era, there were so many things that were just like, all right, if you go to this tile on this spot, you can catch Mew in Pokemon Ruby. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I would always try it and it would never work. I'd be like, I must be doing something wrong. And then there was that era slightly after where something was real and you just didn't believe it because you got burned too many times. And that's what happened with me in not only the Ocarina of Time thing, but also PokeRadar. I saw a video on YouTube on how to find shinies with PokeRadar, and I immediately disregarded it. I was like, there's no way this is real. If you keep chaining, you'll get a high chance at a shiny. Like, there's no way. And then flash forward when I got back into Pokemon in like high school, I like saw another video on how to PokeRadar chain and was like the first thing I thought of was like, wait, so that was real. I was just like, my mind was blown. Good times, good times. I remember the era when I had an action replay, and I would just go on the internet trying to find, like, codes for, like, specific shiny Pokemon, and then half the time they, like, wouldn't work. I ended up finding a code for a shiny Mew, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, having a shiny Mew in Gen 4. I was just like, even though I knew it was hacked, I was like, look, I got a shiny Mew. It's so cool. And then I found it, and then this is gonna sound, I've told this on stream before, it's gonna sound so stupid, but, like, I found a code for a shiny Staraptor of all things, which, like, Staraptor is a cool shiny, but of all the Pokemon, I went for Staraptor, and instead it was a troll. It wasn't like, oh, I typed the code in wrong. It was a troll code. And instead of giving you a shiny Staraptor, it gave you a bad egg. And bad eggs in Gen 4. In Gen 3, you can just, like, do whatever with bad eggs. They're, like, not a big deal. In Gen 4, you cannot hatch them. And you cannot take them out of your party. So, I got a bad egg in my, my Pearl copy. And I just, at that moment on, only had 5 team members for the rest of my save file until I eventually restarted my save file. And it was, like, I essentially ruined my save file because of a shiny Staraptor code. And it's like, you know, in hindsight now, it's so easy to get shiny Staraptor in, like, Diamond Pearl. If you just PokeRadar for Starly, it's, like, the easiest thing to PokeRadar chain. But it was, yeah. And then I never used action replay again. How about all the people hacking the events in Diamond Pearl into the games? I don't remember that. I remember just doing walk-through walls and then, like, finding Darkrai and Shaman because of it. And thinking it was, like, unreal that there were these, like, hidden Pokemon that you had to walk through walls to get. I thought it was, like, part of the game that you had to walk through walls to get to Darkrai. I was like, wait, there's a Pokemon here? Because it was always, you always heard the rumors of New Moon Island, you know? There was Full Moon Island. So, logically, you would be like, there's gotta be a New Moon Island. So, like, we walk through walls and then eventually get to New Moon Island, and it was like, wait, this is real? And you have to use walk-through walls for this? That's insane. PokeRadar is famously convoluted. Yeah, so, like, as a kid, after, like, seeing all these videos on how to get Mew 3 or, like, Mew or just Mew 2 or just anything that were, like, fake, seeing an actual, like, complex thing that was, like, go completely out of your way, I was like, there's no way it's real. And then when I got back into Pokemon, I saw, like, PokeRadar chaining, I was like, wait, that was real? And I completely disregarded it? You learned a valuable lesson on that fateful bad egg day, yeah. I was like, I'm done doing the cheats. No more for me. I don't want to get another bad egg. I had like 300 hours in my save file too. I don't know how. I don't know how I had 300. I don't know like what I did for 300 hours in Pokemon Pearl. Because obviously nowadays it's like, oh, I shiny hunt. But like, that was not a thing when I was a kid. Shiny hunting was not a thing. It was just like, people would just, if you found a shiny, you were just really lucky. People didn't go out of their way for them. Where'd you walk through walls from? You just go from the right of Full Moon Island. You just like go, you sail to Full Moon Island, and then you just go right of it. It's where it is in the map. Like the event doesn't like generate New Moon Island. It's already there. And Darkrai's there. But it's where it is, where New Moon Island is located. So it's just like you go directly right from Full Moon Island until you hit it. 300 hours to capture the flag underground, probably. Yeah, that is true. Like I remember playing Pokemon Pearl. I don't remember what exactly I did, but I do recall doing like capture the flag and whatnot, and then like also just like battling my friends. We would just like battle each other. Having no knowledge of how battling worked. That's what your brother and you did every night. I don't even think I ever ended up getting Spiritomb as a kid. I don't think we like realized how that worked. Maybe we may have. Because I feel like when I got back into Pokemon, I already knew that you could just like talk to the same person over and over again. As long as you like left and then came back. You got your Snorlax last night? 40,000. Oh my gosh. Congrats on getting it. That's awesome. I certainly hope I don't go that far for this one. 40,000 is ridiculous. I've only hit that number once, but I've come close a couple other times. That is the thing. I say I have like insanely bad luck. Like I have for the past like year or so had generally bad luck. But like in the reality of things, like, you know, 30,000 is going to happen a few times, but like numbers like 40,000, 50,000, like so far, knock on wood, those have only happened like once. 35 and up has only happened 3 times for me. If you're including one hunt. If I include multiple hunts at the same time, it's happened like a bunch more, but I don't really count those. It's more for dramatic effect when I say like, oh, I have 3 hunts and together it's over 40,000. But I don't actually count those as like my longest hunt, because clearly each individual hunt is not like my longest. Back then, battling to you was basically use Earthquake over and over. Dude, us was like use Hyper Beam over and over. We were just like conditioned that like Hyper Beam and Giga Impact were just the best moves. Oh, you know what I would do as a kid? I did Battle Tower a lot. I remember doing Battle Tower a lot as a kid. I probably did contests too a bunch. They're low-key, like as a kid, there's a lot to do in the Sinnoh games. And I guess to an extent like BDSP as well. Like there's a reason why I don't hate BDSP. Dude, I just remember, like, we would always play, we would, like, battle and, like, trade and stuff on the bus. I remember I was, like, my friend, I witnessed him find 2 shiny Zubats, like, back-to-back days in his diamond copy. And he traded me one of them. He was like, I don't need 2 of them. And then I evolved it into a Crobat, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Tomorrow is the last day you can work next door for cash. What's next door? Is Shiny Crobat. I've always loved Shiny Crobat. I've never thought like none of the Zubat line has been is incredible when it comes to shinies, but they're all like pretty respectable in terms of how they look. Like I've always liked Shiny Crobat's colors, and I've always liked Shiny Golbat's colors. And like Crobat's just a cool Pokemon. As much of a negative stigma they have because everyone just finds them all the time, they're not bad shinies. You gotta get up at 6:30 a.m. for a 7 a.m. start. That sucks. Juan, thank you for the shiny luck. I'm gonna get to 17,300 and I'm gonna take a break, and then we'll feel for how I'm feeling for the rest of it. I might have to grab my portable fan because it is getting pretty hot in here. Please tell me you still have that shiny Zubat. No, I didn't keep any of my old things. That's why I'm still hunting for a Bidoof. The first shiny I ever found was a random Bidoof, and I just don't have that game anymore. As a kid, I got rid of like my Pokemon games. I didn't just the only Pokemon games I kept were my Game Boy ones. I didn't keep any of my DS Pokemon games. But I have since I have multiple shiny Crobats now. I got a random Zubat on my Sapphire playthrough and used it on my playthrough as a Crobat, and then I also recently got shiny Zubat while hunting, or it was a shiny Golbat while hunting for like Seal and Psyduck, and I have that as a Crobat too. The only shiny Zubat that I'm missing is the female one. That's the only thing I need from that whole set, like gender differences included. You started Ultra Moon today, this time for your Living Form decks? Nice. Man, I am not looking forward to it being over 90 degrees on Monday. For context, it is currently 75 degrees. 75 degrees. And it is very hot in this room. So now imagine 20 degrees warmer. I'm not gonna survive. I need to check the weather and see how long that heat's gonna last. You finished making your battle theme tier list from last stream? Nice. Is that like a tier list maker? Do you have an image of it? What part of the country I'm in? I'm in Michigan. Oh no, dude. It's supposed to be 90s every day next week. Oh my gosh, dude. No way. It's supposed to be 94 on Monday, 92 on Tuesday, 95 on Wednesday, 96 on Thursday, 95 on Friday, 93 on Saturday, and then 79 on Sunday. Like Sunday, it's like it drops 20 degrees for some reason. Oh, that's gonna be brutal, dude. Oh, it's always when I'm doing Safari Week too. It's like ridiculously hot. I'm gonna have to fire up those portable AC units that I used in 2022 because we didn't have AC for the week and it was like 90 degrees every day. And I did like a cross section. You probably, if you watch the video, there in the clips I'm like, oh, I gotta turn off the fan. But like, I literally would have like my fan on my bed and then like a portable AC unit, which by portable AC unit I mean like you put water in it and then it just like sprays mist at you and then like cool air. And I had like a cross section, like I just like a cross flow of air on me and it was still awful. I'm gonna have to like do that again. Because I kid you not, the only times it's like comfortable in this room is when it's like less than 65. 65 is like the max. Once it's like hotter than 65 out, it's like hot in this room and not comfortable. But every other room in the house is fine. I don't know what it is. Like the ongoing theory, it's like the light I have, the PC running, the TV, like whatever. But that's not the case because all that would be turned off and like it'll still be hot in this room. It is crazy how but guys, here's the thing. I don't show it on screen now because like we don't have like a good setup to show it on screen because I have the Mew shrine. But I started this stream with an outbreak. We've been streaming for an hour and a half. Sorry, I said outbreak, a distortion. We started stream in the middle of a distortion. I have not gotten another one since. And we've been streaming for an hour and a half. And the reason why is because after like 30 some minutes or something, it turned to some thunderstorm. And then after like an additional 30 minutes or so, it turned to intense sunlight. Distortions are ridiculous. The weather wants you to get those Mew encounters, apparently. What does that even mean? It wants me to get the Mew encounters by making me not want to be in this room getting the Mew encounters? No, the weather just knows I planned to do Safari Week a few days early, so it's like... Alright, here's the full Safari Week experience. Suadoom, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. Oh, the Legends Arceus weather, I see. Maybe. Although, I've been at a point now, like, I'm not really going for anything besides I just check the Sneasels and then leave. It really, like, doesn't detract many encounters from the Mew anymore, because I don't pick up all the items anymore. And I, for the most part, know where to go to spawn the Sneasels. Do you want to see the tier list? Yeah, do you have, like... I don't know if you... I don't think you can put links in the chat. But I guess just, like send it to me on Twitter or something. I'm probably going to disagree with a lot of it. Suadoom, thank you for the shiny luck. Okay, can I move over? There we go. Doink. You've had some people disagree already. Well, when you were telling me your S tiers, I'll definitely look at it and like listen to some of the songs, because when you were telling me the S tiers, some of them I like don't remember what they are. But then like there was ones where I was like, wait, why isn't this song on here? So I'm not gonna agree all the way, but a lot of it, I think what you told me before, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. You listening to Scavenger's Rain music right now? Is that a game or some random NPC in a Pokemon game that I don't remember at all? Dude, I have a Pokemon card. I gotta show this off. I can find it. I think I did it on stream. Don't really remember. Yeah, okay. I pulled this card. And I was like, dude, a rainbow rare. And I had absolutely no clue who this character was. And it's Thornton. And he's from Platinum, which is my favorite Pokemon game. And I had no idea who this guy was. I was like, he's like from the Battle Frontier or something. I was like, what? I was like, who the heck is Thornton? And then I looked it up and I was like, he's from Platinum. You can't DM me on Twitter. You can just tweet me. You should be able to DM me. I don't have it for I don't have it unless they change something, because Twitter changes something for the worse every like month or two. I should have it so that anyone can DM me even if I'm not following them. Which I have considered turning off, because I just get a lot of like artists that are like, I don't even humor them anymore, because it'll always be someone that's not following me, and they'll DM me like, hey, how's it going? And I'll look at their profile, and 100% of the time it'll say like artist or whatever, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna say what's up, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I noticed you were streaming, and do you need some like graphic design stuff? And I'm over here like, brother, I'm a graphic design artist myself. So I just don't humor them anymore. But I don't like the idea of me like having to follow someone for them to DM me. Sometimes people just don't want their stuff to be public when they like want to ask me something. Yeah, Thornton, here's a who. Oh, Scavengers is a show. Interesting. It says you need premium. Okay, that's a Twitter thing. That's a new Twitter thing. That's not a... Really? You need premium to DM people? Let me check. That might be a setting that I just didn't know was a thing. I don't know where it would be, though. Privacy and safety. Direct messages. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll just do everyone again. Alright, you should be able to DM me now. I think. Let me make sure it's saved. Yeah, you should be able to DM me now. That was a defaulted Twitter special right there. I would not have turned on verified users, because the whole idea behind the verification thing on Twitter is such a joke. No, it's probably premium if I'm not following you. No, but I that's not something I said. That was something that was defaulted by Twitter, which is so stupid. Just like how the likes being private is just like forced upon everyone. like I understand people wanting their likes to be private. Like I get that. That's not a bad feature, but to like make it so that that's the only option and you don't have a choice is just ridiculous. Twitter just paywalling everything. Yeah, it's so bad. Twitter is not like sorry, X is at this point it's a completely different social media than Twitter was. The only similarity is that there's a character limit for what you can post unless you're verified, and it's like the same structure for scrolling through stuff. That's like the only similarities now from the two. It's so bad. When Elon Musk bought Twitter, I was like, dude, people are making a big deal out of this. This is ridiculous. Like, I thought it was like, I'm no Elon Musk fan, just so we're clear. But I was like, there's no way this guy's gonna buy Twitter and just run it into the ground. And like, oh my gosh, it's honestly, it's crazy how wrong I was. Like, it's like, I have never seen something go that as badly as Elon Musk buying Twitter and running it. Like, sometimes, like, you hear things about, like, YouTube, like, oh, CEO of YouTube changed, and now they're making a change, and sometimes, like, you get some bad, you get some good, you know? But, like, pretty much everything that's been added to Twitter since Elon Musk took over has been bad. Like, it's, like, unreal. It's like he's trying to like see what's gonna like make people not want to use Twitter, and he like is like, all right, we're gonna do it. But you're telling me that forcing new users to pay, it's one of those things where a lot of the times like you get where he's coming from, but it's like it's one of those things where you know everything that was changed with Twitter, not much thought was involved. Because you'll look at any like change that he'll like announce, and it'll be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, but after 5 minutes you realize it's a terrible idea, and it's like, who approved this? It can, in fact, get pretty bad, true. Yeah, like the whole thing with like just, it's just basic stuff too. It's like, I understand that Elon wants to fight the bots. Like, he doesn't want people to just bot spam everyone on Twitter. I get that. That's not a bad thing. But, like, to charge new users to use Twitter in order to prevent that, like, on paper, for, like, 10 seconds, that sounds like a good idea. Until you realize that not only I think the entry fee isn't even enough to like deter people from still just doing it with bots anyway, so that like didn't do anything. But also, you never want to give someone a reason to not use your social media, and he gave people the biggest reason of all time to not use his social media. It's like, it literally takes any average Joe a maximum of 3 minutes to realize that like the things he does is not a good idea. And he just does it anyway. Like changing the whole verification process. That's just wild. The only app where verified users, like being verified means absolutely nothing. When before it was like a good way to tell what was like a real, like an actual verified account instead of someone like posing as that account. Like, oh my gosh, that was such a nightmare too. Like when people just started like pretending to be other people. It's crazy. It's like a cartoon. I'm convinced Elon Musk is a cartoon character who just like is so dumb. And I know it's like such a weird rant for a shiny hunting video, but like it blows my mind. Like it blows my mind that that's like the reality that happened. Also, I know I said I'd take a break at 300. I am in a distortion currently. I'm going to wait for the distortion to get ready to start. And then I'm going to take the break. And then we're going to come back and do the distortion. Can't wait for another social media platform to get popular enough to the point where Twitter dies off. Dude, I was hoping that like Threads thing was gonna just kill Twitter. I like, don't get me wrong. I think Twitter's great. Like I've used, so it's been very useful. It's been good for like just like growing my audience. Like just sharing stuff is like great with it. But man, as soon as Elon bought Twitter, I have been like, every time something comes up or something's in the talk of how bad it's performing or how something might kill it off, it just gets me excited. Like I want to see a juggernaut crash and burn just to let the world know that you can't be as powerful as like you think you can be. And I just want to see Twitter die. Not because honestly, if Twitter died, it'd be like a negative for me. But like just the idea of it dying would be just the best thing ever. Just to like let Elon know that he made the biggest mistake of his life and that like he just wasted so much money and ran one of the most successful businesses into the ground. And the idea of that just sounds awesome. Please do more of these rants. Good work. Weird rants is how shinies are summoned. Yeah, it is. Just wild. Because it's not even like I care that much about Twitter. It's just like a nice platform. Like, I think my biggest issue is that there's not really any alternatives to Twitter. Every other platform now is just a worse version of TikTok. And so like there's not like a good thing to just post whatever that doesn't involve like videos. I used to love Instagram. Instagram was great. That used to be like my favorite social media. And then it just turned into worse TikTok, and then it's like I just have no reason to go on it ever again. I would like to go on Instagram, but it's just like not enjoyable to go on. Yeah, mic breaks. Adult content is allowed on Twitter, but now you can't see people's likes. That just sounds like some weird thing that Elon wanted to do just for himself. What was that? Why did my computer just make that noise? It just like does that every once in a blue moon. I wonder if there's like a 1 in 8192 chance my computer does that when I add to the counter. Wouldn't be surprised. Recent trend made you realize that you would love for the Switch 2 to have Miiverse on it. I don't even remember what Miiverse was, honestly. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break because the distortion's about to start. We'll just like start with the distortion. I can't believe it took an additional 30 minutes after I stopped recording, an hour and 12 minutes to find it, to have a distortion start. That's crazy. Shiny computer noise, you were here. Yeah, it is crazy. Like, I'm not even kidding. The odds of that just happening is honestly rarer than a shiny. Like, that does not happen often. Oh, Nintendo social media on 3DS. The only social media I remember on Nintendo was Flipnote Hatena. And that was awesome. I loved that. I was so sad when they shut that down. That was such a good one. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I will be right back.
This does put a smile on my face.
Don't worry, I'm back. What's up, Weewar? Next Mew shines, imagine. Imagine it does. Oh, I was gonna do a distortion first, though. Share bringing the followers. Oh, Big Crowy, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Good chat. Chat is we're doing more in Twitch than YouTube. YouTube's just like patiently waiting. Twitch is like, oh my gosh, it's a chair. No, it's all good. You sent the pic in the DMs? I'll check that after stream. I'm not gonna do a whole like tier list review on stream. We gotta get a shiny Mew. Yeah, I was like confused because all my games are muted. We gotta do this distortion. All right. Yeah, Tud, you're one of those legitimacy purists, and that's totally fine, but I understand what I'm getting myself into and what I've done. Doesn't mean you have to follow in the footsteps. We don't need the lecture on how legit the Mew is. I've gone on record to say the Mew is not 100% legit, but it's as legit as I can get it to be. And it's completely legal. It'll be able to send up into home, so that's all I care about. Well, that's all I care about, and making it as legit as possible. Okay, so there's one. The second one was over here, right? Where's the third one, though? Oh, there it is. I don't know why it didn't spawn the first time. Yeah, legit's... Well, okay, legit is... Oh, wait. You might have said it right. Well, okay. Legit is not really a subjective thing. Legitimacy is, like, kind of clear-cut. It's just... After legitimacy, it depends on, like, what you're okay with. It's your own morals. Essentially. You like to shiny up Mew and Emerald, but you did the 8F glitch for one. Yeah, see, that one I'm not okay with. Like, I don't like the idea of using illegitimate means to force Pokemon to be shiny. Unless you, like, fully hunted the shiny Mew. And just used 8F to make it, like, send through. Because I've considered doing that. But, yeah, I'm myself, like, I'm hunting it legitimately. I'm doing this whatever I can, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be a 1000% legit Mew. It never will be. Just depends on what you're okay with. I guess that would help if I swapped everything. Oh, I'm getting my counter back up so I know what I'm doing. I do find it kind of silly because, like, in reality, I'm more of a stricter person when it comes to legit. What do you mean, well, there I am? I've been here for the past, like, 10 minutes. Okay, it hasn't been 10 minutes, but I've been here for a few minutes now. So here... I get what you're saying with Minorome. I think there's a clear cut, like, legit versus illegitimate. But when you go to, like, when you start talking about legality of Pokemon, I think that's where the spectrum is. And it depends on what you're okay with. That's kind of my difference. We have like the same idea, but I think like saying something's legit means it's like 100% legit. But like once you get past that and it's like about a legality thing, that's where it's like the spectrum, and it depends on like where you land on it. So like for example, in like Morghini, I'm not like throwing you under the bus or anything, because it's totally fine if you want to do the 8F to make Mew shiny. But that for me is like that crosses the line for me personally. Like I wouldn't use 8F to force Mew to be shiny and be like, oh, there's my shiny Mew, I got it, because I don't see the satisfaction in that. But I would be open to hunting the Mew glitch Mew with the 1 in 8192 odds, and then using 8F to make it legal, or like obviously you have to use 8F before catching it to make it legal, you know? So yeah, I do think it's kind of funny. Like people are really sensitive about this Mew, about like its legitimacy, when like there's other Pokemon that people like hack and cheat more than this Mew. I think there's just more knowledge on the Mew event than other ones. But I do think it's funny because I'm more of a strict person when it comes to legitimacy. Because to me, when you like start like cutting corners and cheesing things, it kind of takes the idea away from it, so it's not as fun for me. But I do think it's funny how like for me it's like I try to do things as legit as possible. And if it's not possible, then I'll do the next best thing. What about getting shinies through the cute charm glitch? Would you count them as legit? No. No, if you're using some sort of exploit or anything, it's not legit, but I guess it depends on if you're okay using them, because they're legal. Like, again, it's the legality thing. Like, it just depends on where you lie. For me, I don't like RNG abuse, like, at all. I wouldn't count anything that, like, has, like, an unintended way to force something to be shiny or whatnot, because that's just not me. Like, my rules are, like, go as legit as possible, and if you can't do that, do the next thing that's as legit as you can make it. And for this, as legit as I could make it was to not use a cheating device, but to do things that are accessible in-game already in order to unlock the events. So I always I say it all the time, like, I acknowledge this Mew isn't 100% legit. But if you want to be really technical, like, I already have my 100% legit Mew that I got from Pokemon Go, so this is just my way of doing my satisfactory, like, full odds shiny hunt for Mew that I enjoy doing. And there's just no fully legit way to do that, really. It's a pretty common sentiment, as long as you don't tamper with the shiny odds, it's what counts and makes the hunt enjoyable. Yeah. Especially, like, the thing about tampering with shiny odds with, like, RNG abuse and, like, cute charm glitch and whatnot is, like if you really are that down bad, like, I understand people do it just to, like, mess around, and that's, like, one thing. But, like, if you're that down bad for shinies and you just can't fathom, like, doing a 1 in 8192 hunt or a 1 in 496 hunt, it's like, just hunting, like, Scarlet and Violet. Like, there's plenty of modern games where there's easy methods to gate shinies really quick. So, you know? Like, I like when people, like, as much as I don't like how easy they made shinies in Scarlet and Violet, I still appreciate when people go for shinies that way, and that's what's satisfying to them, you know? Because it's still legit. Like, in my opinion, it's like, if you do it as legit as possible, it's still impressive. Yeah, like Hordes and ORAS. Hordes and ORAS are not, like, broken, but they're definitely better than, like, the average encounter rate. Yeah, I actually have the shiny Mew from Go twice, because I got it on 2 different accounts, and I had to grind it out on both accounts. Because I like to keep my Go shiny separate from mainline games, unless that's the only way to get them. So on my main account, the shiny Mew stays, because I want to have shiny Mew in Go. And then I got it on my alt account, and then once I found out they were doing the Mightiest Mark on Mew, I grinded out that research in order to, like, get one in home, so I could get the Mightiest Mark on the shiny Mew. So yeah, like I have the legit event Mew, but I want to get a full odds one, and this is the most legit way I can do it. Just remember, you gotta get a lot of moves for Home's move decks from Gen 7. Yeah, there's actually a ton. I did that like not too long ago. I was like looking through the move decks in Home and was like, I'm missing all these things, and like 90% of them were just Gen 7 moves, which was so crazy. You just beat the 8th gym leader in 4 moves. Was that Grusha? Grusha's like so easy, especially if you have Skeledirge. Yeah. Yeah, Scarlet and Violet's gym system was a bit questionable. For the record, my first playthrough of Scarlet, I wanted to shiny hunt like a cool Pokemon that I didn't know the shiny of, and my original pick was Paldean Tauros. And the place where Paldean Tauros was most common was by the water gym. And obviously I was like severely underleveled for that area, but after like grinding and KOing like a few Pokemon and whatnot, and then like getting the shinies that I got, I fought the water gym and then proceeded to fight the grass and bug gyms, and they were like ridiculously easy. It would have been nice if they like scaled the gyms based on the order you did them in. Just Terra boosted him on first move. Yeah, it's like Skeledirge was so broken. Normally when I play through like multiple save files of the same game, I always like pick the other starters. But Skeledirge, there was no reason to not pick Fuecoco at the beginning, because not only is Skeledirge like the best typing to take down the most amount of the gyms, i.e. Bug, Ice, and what was it? It was Bug, Ice, Psychic, and Grass. And then on top of that, once you need to start like grinding out Terra raids for Herba Mystica, Skeledirge is like the best starting Pokemon, because you don't like have to train it. You just like, if you just use Torch Song, like you usually do pretty well in any Terra raid that's weak to fire, and it's like a good way to start getting like your resources up to get other Pokemon. So like I just never had a reason to choose Sprigatito or Quaxley. Even though I wanted to choose Quaxley on my second playthrough, I was like, I'm just gonna give I'm just handicapping myself if I choose something other than Fuecoco. Which I think is like unfortunate. I think they needed to like not to say the other two starters are bad, but like in the context of a playthrough and like the Terra raids, Like you're not gonna get anything out of Quaquaval. You're just not. And then Meowscarada is like okay, but then Skeledirge is like really good. You know, I feel like they should have done a better job like balancing those. You just use a broken Annihilate setup for raids. Is that with the Rage Fist? Was it like Rage Fist Shell Bell? So you just like heal every time you attack, but then every time you take damage, you just like do more damage. Yeah, it's open world. You choose where to go, but they should have level scaled. Yeah, because like I like went to the third gym and being like, oh, this is difficult, but then I like went to the 2 previous gyms and I'm like, wait, this is way too easy now.
This does put a smile on my face.
Todd, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Oh, Rage Fist with bulk up. Yeah. I never used Annihilate for the Terra raids. Once you get yourself like, and I know this is a Violet exclusive, but once you get yourself an Iron Hands, man, you can take down, like, so many raids so easily. Thanos never smiling. No, he smiles every time someone gives him a follow. You're going for Gen 1 and 2 Virtual Console Pokemon for home and you just got your Mareeps and Remoraids from Gold. You're so jazzed you can start Crystal without those two hanging over your head now. You gotta get Girafarig too, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Girafarig is Gold Silver exclusive as well. I'm not mistaken. Unless you already got it. You need Violet anyway for your living decks, so later on you'll check Iron Hands out that. Yeah, so Iron Hands, it's so nice because you just... The moveset is really... You just give it, like, max HP, max attack, like, pretty much every other, like, Terror Raid Pokemon. Then you give it Belly Drum, Drain... So you have it hold a booster energy to, like, raise its attack. You give it Belly Drum, Drain Punch... I think Thunder Punch in close combat. And it's like, you usually just, you start the match with a Belly Drum. Then you use Drain Punch. If it's like a tier 5 raid, there's a lot of times you'll just one-shot it. A lot of times you don't, but you'll full heal every time you get that Drain Punch off. And then, like, it's so easy at that point. Koraidon is good if you have Scarlet, but the difference, like, they're very similar Pokemon. Because they both get Drain Punch. Koraidon gets a stronger secondary fighting move with the Collision Course. But the issue with Koraidon is that it doesn't get Belly Drum, it has Swords Dance. So you have to use 3 turns instead of 1 to get your attack max. And a lot of times you get your stats reset by then, so Koraidon can get you similar results, but Iron Hands is just going to be better overall for, like, efficiency. And, like, Iron Hands is so good that, like, you can fight some Pokemon that are neutral to fighting. And it's, like, you're totally fine, usually. Only the first 151. So for now, I'm actually gonna start reworking my living decks to include, the other generations. So that'll be updated. I'm also gonna exclude the non-full odd shinies and the shinies I didn't get live that I did include before. And then so our living decks number is probably gonna change. It's probably gonna go down. Because we're currently at, I think, 87 out of 151. It's gonna go down because some of the Pokemon I didn't full odds on, and I'm gonna remove them. And then there's Alakazam. That, like, the male Alakazam I didn't full odds on. The female one I did, but I didn't get it live, so I'm not gonna count either of them. We'll just have to, like, rehunt them. But the reason why it's the first 151 only is because, obviously it's different nowadays with how easy shinies can be in, like, the newer games. But, like, when I started it, it was, like, the latest game was, like, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Like, it was very unrealistic to go for a full shiny living dex, especially if, like, a lot of the times I hunted full odds. So I was like, I'm just gonna start with, like, the first gen. But it has gotten to the point where now, like, I do feel like I locked myself into Gen 1 when there's other, like, later Gen hunts I want to do, and I just don't because they're not Gen 1. So, I do kind of want to, like, change it up, but I'll still be focusing more on Gen 1 than other generations once I update it. You can battle with these motorcycles. Oh, are you talking about Koraidon and Miraidon? There's spoiler alert, there's a second one that you can catch that isn't... You can battle with the ones you ride at the end, I think. But there's a second one that you can catch that you can, like, put into home and stuff and use. So that's the one I'm referring to. You gotta give to the game yesterday. Yeah, there's just one that you're able to catch to send into, like, that you can use for, like, home and whatnot and, like, trade to people. Because obviously you wouldn't be able to, like, send your motorcycle one into home because then you wouldn't be able to ride it anymore. Or, like, trade it to other people. That'd cause for some, like, issues. You traded someone you're riding Koraidon, and then you just, like, you just have to walk everywhere you go at that point. I feel like it took us a while to get to 300 today, but then we got another 100. Like, it felt pretty fast. Yeah, imagine you trade away your motorcycle. Man, 17,000 on Mew. Hopefully, we get it soon. No way, thank you for the shiny luck. Welcome in. Alright, I gotta do another distortion now. That's not what I wanted to hit. In the same breath, it'd be pretty cool if you could ride a Miraidon in Scarlet instead of being stuck on the same bike in your party forever. I wish you could, like, in Legends, I didn't really care about it in Scarlet and Violet, but in Legends, it would have been cool if you could, like, ride specific Pokemon. Like, obviously, like, if you caught, like, a shiny Stantler and then you evolved it, you could, like, ride a shiny Weirdeer. Like, that'd be cool. Or, like, a shiny Braviary. But, I mean, if you wanna ride a Miraidon, you just get Violet, I guess. Oh, no alpha. See, we don't like spend as much time on these anymore, and we cycle through them faster doing it this way. It's so much better. I sleep and it's a thunderstorm. Better than 40 minutes into the waiting of a distortion, though. Alright. Back to Mew. I don't know if I can... No, I'm at 25%. We might be able to get another distortion in. Yeah, quick check. I've been getting that distortion a lot, so I know, like, exactly where the Sneasels spawn. Koraidon bike looks cooler. I think it's more satisfying to ride Miraidon, but I like Koraidon more as a Pokemon. Only slightly. They're both really cool. Alright. The Game Boy on the right has been flickering from red to green light, and now it's on red for a minute. I think I gotta plug it in soon. You prefer Koraidon in water, but you think every other animation is better with Miraidon? I just think, like, driving it, like, on the regular ground is better. Alright, let's see if I can do this without it being, like, obnoxious. Might be tough. Might just have to, yeah, might just have to push this box back a bit. Might have to look into replacing the battery on this Game Boy. I feel like we don't really last full streams with it anymore. I think I might go to 17,500. I guess it depends on how I'm feeling. It's very hot in this room, and I normally don't stream at this time. So I might be getting off pretty soon. Would you ever just leave it plugged in 24/7 instead? No, because that would make the battery a lot worse, and it's not, like, convenient to keep it plugged in because the cord sticks out and makes it, like, you have to reposition stuff. Like, I had to move the box back a little bit. So, like, some of the setups I use where I have, like, multiple systems, it kind of makes it, like, kind of annoying. It also is not good for your battery. You're just asking your battery to not work well. Man, the amount I've streamed lately has been crazy. And I'm gonna stream almost every day next week, too. Because it's gonna be, like, my Safari week, essentially. I probably won't stream on the weekend, though. We'll play that normally. You know, later, handheld can run off the charge cord, basically turning off the battery to prevent wear. I think these do that. But actually, these definitely do that. Because I'll be, like, shiny hunting and I'll be, like, charging a game, and if I, like, go for more than an hour, sometimes the light will go out while it's, like, plugged in. And then, when I plug it back in, it'll still take a while to charge again because it actually was, like, losing battery. Because if a GBA SP's battery's full and you plug it in, the light will turn on for, like, a second and then go off. So if you plug it in and, like, if you've had it, like, plugged in and the light's off, and then you, like, unplug it and plug it back in and it doesn't, like, immediately go out, that means it was losing charge. Because it, like, stopped charging. Oh. You like stretch or something. My back's kind of hurting. Leaving a battery 100% isn't ideal, but probably better than full discharge / charge cycle every day. The main issue is probably just cords getting in the way. Yeah. Yeah, like, especially, like, for, like, my Safari Week setup, or anytime I do, like, more than 4 systems, we do, like, the 4 Game Boys, like, in the front, and then we have the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection box that we put, like, DSs on. And when you have to charge one of the Game Boy SPs, it's like you have to reposition like one of them to be like sticking out farther, and it's just kind of like messes up stuff. Gotta head out. You gotta be awake in 5 hours. Good luck. Good luck. Man, this shiny Mew is gonna be insane when it shows up. 17,000 for like not these fast encounters, because like to put it into perspective, I was getting like the Dratini encounters so much faster, and 16,000 still felt like a while. That was one of those hunts that like on average should have taken me like a few days, but in turn took me like a few weeks. And like now this one's like this hunt we're so much slower with this one. Yeah, Mew except Blue's gonna be high. Gage, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Kind of worried. Did you make sure the battery works? The battery has nothing to do with Emerald's RNG. Emerald's RNGs are always broken. And even if you're working with broken RNG like Emerald or a Ruby Sapphire with a dead battery, the way I'm hunting it does not like mess with anything. Like you're not gonna hit the same 1/60th of a frame of a second like consistently. Maybe on like the first encounter you might hit it a couple times, but we're talking a couple times out of like the thousands of attempts. I'm also using the painting method, so I'm getting completely random frames every time. It's just bad luck. I've also gone way farther than this for working RNG games, so just happens. It's been a while. Your old user was Gage Hero. Well, welcome back. I actually got another distortion to form. That's crazy. This will be the last distortion. I really hope you get it soon. Yeah, thank you. I really hope I get it soon too. I've seen people go. The worst I've seen so far for Mew is 20k. So I just gotta hope I don't get it. It doesn't take me equal or longer than that. Also, pardon me, I'm trying to find a spot where there isn't Drifloons or Zubats to attack me. And it's very difficult to do in the spot. Alright, hopefully that's good. What's your longest hunt so far? So, let me get this encounter. See what we got here. No shiny Mew. This Shuppet is my longest hunt. Over 54,000 for that one. I've also had a 38,000, a 35,000, a couple others in the 30Ks. Lots in the 20Ks. Is that like a 15-minute? I think it was a 10-minute. Because we've currently been recording for 10 minutes since the last, or for 13 minutes since the last distortion. I started recording when the last distortion started. So it was definitely a 10-minute timer. The craziest is when you get a 5-minute timer. I'm still getting attacked by something, by the way. It's a Drifloon. We're just gonna have to kill it. It is crazy how different of a place this is at night. Like, during the day, it's all just stuff that is, like, gonna run away from you, like Bidoops and Cricketots, and then at night, it's, like, literally everything will attack you, so there's no way you can, like, stay still and just wait for a distortion to start without, like, something trying to kill you. It's, like, honestly kind of annoying. Yeah, overall, for my hunts, I'm, like, very unlucky when it comes to big numbers. I get big numbers more than the average person by, like, quite a bit. Usually someone will hit, like, a crazy big number, like 30k, 40k, and that'll be the only time they ever do it. But I've hit, like, upper 35, like, I've hit, like, upper 30ks 3 times already. I've hit lower 30ks, like, 3 or 4 times, like... We don't get the best luck that often. And, like, just now, like, our last hunt was 16k and we're on a 17k, so it's like... That's still combined, like... 33,000 with 1 shiny scene. Alright, let's do this distortion. I don't get this one very often, so I don't actually know exactly where the sneezes show up. I want to say one's like around here. So there's one. I thought that was an alpha at first. That was just a big Sneasel. Third one's got to be like around here somewhere. Where the heck is the third one? This happened last time I was here. I couldn't find the one that's like supposed to be over here. There it is. What are you getting from the distortions? I'm trying to get alpha female Sneasel. I'm doing a challenge where I get every alpha Pokemon in Legends, including like form changes. And we need alpha Sneasels. Alpha female Sneasel is the last one we need from the Fieldlands. Oh, we're done with Legends. We're not gonna have time for another distortion. Alright. Swap back to this. What does bingo do? It makes me display my bingo card and kind of talk about the hunts I'm doing. Or the hunts I want to say I'm gonna have planned, if it works out. If RNG permits, exactly. That's honestly, like, That's the thing about, like, my bad luck, is that, like, I've made bingo cards. This is my 3rd year making a bingo card, and I usually start off pretty strong, and then I get atrocious luck. And then I never end up finishing it. The first one was the one I was closest to getting a bingo on, but I just couldn't get Pikachu. Just phased too many times. So first year making a bingo card, you didn't have enough targets this year, so you made a bin card. So it's just 3x3. Part of me is considering doing that for future years, because I feel like the bingo card... the idea behind the bingo card is just kind of like a way to encourage you to do hunts you may not have, like, done. But you may not have, like, really considered doing. But sometimes I get, like, super invested in it, and then I feel like I have to, like, do it when sometimes I don't want to be working on it. So I think next year doing, like, a 3x3 would be cool, especially because, like, I am, like, more interested in getting, like, some of the crazier shinies, like Jirachi or Mew, or, so, well, we're doing Mew now, like Celebi or, like, Deoxys or Manaphy. And it's like, if I have Manaphy on my bingo card this year, and it's like, I'm not gonna get to it. But, like, I don't want to just put stuff on my bingo card just for the sake of, like, oh, I might get to it, and then I don't. I want to, like, focus on a crazy hunt, and then put some, like, other random things that I might get to. And just have, like, the goal be just, like, the one crazy hunt. You can maybe get through a 3x3 in a year. It really just depends on, like, your luck. Yeah, you just kind of just want to finish off everything this year that you put down. One day you'll try a Coliseum shiny, yeah. Yeah, like, with the J-Wits posting the Manaphy video, I just, like, you know, sometimes, and this is, like, something I realized when I was doing my Alpha challenge in Legends, like, I've been using my shiny Shaman and Darkrai so often in those games, and I appreciate them more just because of, like, they're just cooler, like, rare shinies, and they're fun to use. And I just think about, like, well, what if I hunted Manaphy? And even though it's going to be a ridiculously tedious process, like, how cool would it be to be, like, running around in Legends Arceus and using a shiny Manaphy? And I just think about, like, you know, sometimes it might just be about quality over quantity. As much as I want to try to, like, break my shiny records and get, like, 50 full-odd shinies in a year, sometimes it's just like, you know, I could try that, or I could try to go for one crazy thing, and then maybe, like, a couple other, like, random hunts. You know? I always think about that, because sometimes I think, like, would it be cooler if I got, like, what's on my bingo card this year? I have some pretty cool ones on my bingo card this year. So, like, they're, like, pretty nice shinies that I'm, like, excited to try to hunt. But, like, you know, like, one year I had, like, Haunter on my bingo card. I might actually have Haunter on my bingo card this year. There's, like, one year I had Haunter on my bingo card. And then there's, like, one year I had, like, Lickitung. I think I have Lickitung on this one, too, actually. But, I do have Lickitung on it. I'm trying to think of, like, random... Like, I need to look at my last year's bingo cards. Oh, actually, I don't know. You can't, like, really search. I do it from my phone. You can't really search, like, like, tweets from a user. So like, I don't know if you can do this on the desktop version, but, like, you can just, like, search directly from my tweets. So I'll just search, like, bingo. That would be generic. Okay, so, like, the first year, I'll just show this off on the camera. Oh, there we go. Tud redeemed bingo. So I'll show off my current bingo card. Well, let me go through this whole spiel first. Where is... There it is. Alright, there's my bingo card for this year. Okay, so this was my first year. I'm like trying to show it off. Hold on, let me get rid of this one. It'll come back, don't worry. This was my first year. Now, Tauros was like a given. I was currently hunting Tauros. But then there was like ones like Gen 2 Dratini, and like this was like a Pokeradar Kadabra. But like there's just a lot of random Pokemon, like Onix. Like there's just random Onix. Like Vulpix I actually tried for. That was when I got the Shuppet. Just like random ones like that. I got really close. I almost finished the bottom row. I was only missing Pikachu and I just didn't get it. But there's like Marowak and Onix on here that are just kind of like random hunts. And then let me see if I can find last year's. This was last year's. So last year's was like the Farfetch'd, like Drowsy, like Alolan Rattata, Ponyta, just like random ones. And it's like, as cool as it to be to get like, you know, Mime Jr. or Ponyta, you know, sometimes it's like, you know, I would have been more satisfied if I just grinded out Jirachi and got that, you know? And I'm kind of leaning towards doing that for like next year, is just like picking like one crazy hunt. And if I get it, I consider that a whole win. But like maybe make it like a 3x3 and just put like some other like random hunts on there. Or maybe I make it a 5x5 and then just have like the crazy hunt in the middle. And then like the middle is like a free win or something. But yeah. Oh, Raticate of all things? Oh yeah, Raticate. No, the reason why Raticate was there is because some of these I actually put on because I'll be targeting something else and just know I'm going to phase with that. So like this Raticate was here because I wanted to get Coughing in the mansion and I just knew I was going to get Raticate. So I just put it there because I'm like, it's going to be easy. And I got Raticate, of course, so I got that. That's the same with the Farfetch'd. I was targeting Tauros and I knew I wasn't going to get Tauros first, which I actually ended up doing. But I put Farfetch'd there because I'm like, if I put Tauros here, I'm going to phase 30 times and then not end up getting it. So I put Farfetch'd there and ended up getting both, which was cool. And like some of these hunts, like I should go through and see like every single hunt I have completed from these bingo cards throughout the years and just see how many I've actually completed. Because it might be cool, but I never even come close. Like here's the end result for 2022. These were all the shinies I got from my bingo card for 2022. Let me see 2023. This was the end result of 2023. Like I just didn't get that many. And then now we'll look at 2024's. Yeah, 5x5, but half the squares are Manaphy. Yes, if you get one, you get half of them. That's honestly not a bad way to do it. I do like when I'm making a bingo card, I like trying to fill it out and just be like, oh, this is a cool one. Oh, this is a cool one. All right, so this is my bingo card for this year. Obviously, Mew is in the middle. Mew for me was like this is a guaranteed I'm getting it.
Does put a smile on my face.
Sandrew, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. I should make that be like in front. So yeah, like Mew is like the I'm for sure getting. I put the one that goes in the middle is the one that I'm like for sure gonna get, which kind of sad that it's Mew and we're halfway through the year and I don't have it yet. But Mew was the first hunt I had planned to do this year. We just got like really unlucky and sidetracked with certain things. But yeah, like we just got the Dratini yesterday, so that one's filled out. I have like all of the Gen 3 Fire Red Leaf Green Game Corner hunts. Like Abra, that's gonna be free. Clefairy, that's gonna be free. But then there's like Pinsir and Scyther and Porygon, like not 100% sure on that. But I do think, like, if I'm gonna complete a row here, I think I'm definitely most likely to complete the middle row, the blue one. I did kind of theme them around the colors because I was putting them in and they were, I just kind of throw them in randomly. But then I realized, I was like, wait, there's a lot of like similar colors. Like the top row is like a greenish color. The top middle is like yellow. The middle is blue. The bottom middle is pink. And then the bottom is like I couldn't figure out where to put the other ones. so there's like black, white, purple, and bluish, I guess. But I definitely think I'm most likely to finish the middle row because we're doing Mew now. And then after Mew, well, we're going to do Safari Week. After Mew, I'm going to go for Psyduck. And then after Psyduck, I'm going to do a couple easy hunts that aren't on the bingo board. That should take not long. After that, I think that's when I'm going to do the Game Corner. And then after Game Corner, I think I'm going to soft reset for the Legendary Birds. Yeah, Type Null is cool. I did put some on here that were, like, at risk of being unavailable if Bank shuts down. Like, that's why, like, Celebi's on here. Type Null and Poipole are on there. Didn't put Deoxys on it, though. I was thinking about putting Deoxys on it, but I didn't. That's what those are. Articuno will be exciting too. Yeah, like I've never hunted a legendary. Like all the legendaries I've hunted have been mythicals so far. So like I've never hunted, like I've hunted Shaman and Darkrai, and I'm currently hunting Mew. Those are all mythicals. I want to start hunting some like legendaries, like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, like Mewtwo would be cool too. I kind of wish I put Mewtwo on here, but I didn't. But yeah, like lots of soft reset hunts that we got to get through. But yeah, you know, I wanna start like targeting like quality over quantity. I feel like it's just gonna be better. But there's my bingo card. Hopefully make some decent progress this year. If I were to get all the Game Corner hunts done, that'd be awesome. But yeah. Yeah, next year, like, you know, like maybe I might, so I really want to do Manaphy, but I know Manaphy is gonna be like take forever. But I might do like Celebi first and then Manaphy, because Celebi is just a reset hunt. Celebi is one of those special Pokemon, but it's just a reset hunt. Manaphy, like, I don't want to lock myself into Manaphy and then miss out on, like, a Celebi or something. But yeah. The Manaphy hunt isn't as bad as everyone thinks it is. Like, I mean, if anyone saw Jaywitt's video today, you'll know. The Manaphy hunt is not as bad as everyone, like, originally believed, and it's been severely optimized since it originally became known. To the point where, like, if you want to be really technical, I think Jaywitt's kind of, like, kind of said it, like, he kind of explained it well. Instead of doing, like, 1 egg at a time, if you, like, get yourself 4 eggs, in my case, I'm going to be doing 8 eggs across 3 games. I don't know the average per hatch on that, but I think Jaywitt said if you do 4, you average, like, 1 every 7.5 minutes or something. What was it? It was something like, it might have been 7.5 minutes. Something like that. But if you want, like, if you think about that, that's really no different than, like, any other tedious shiny hunt, you know? Like, think about, like, the Kalos starters or the Sun and Moon starters. Like, those were, like, 2-minute resets. Like, yeah, those are long, and 1 in 40.96. Like, those are tedious hunts, and it's, like, then, like, think about, like, Coliseum. Like, there's people that do Coliseum hunts all the time. And those hunts are, like, arguably harder than Manaphy if you optimize Manaphy enough. That's what, like, makes me motivated to want to go for Manaphy. Because as bad as it's gonna be, it's for sure doable. And then there's the whole thing about, like, pre-walking your eggs. That wasn't, like, a known thing before, which I didn't do. Like, I did 160 so Manaphy egg hatches before trying to get it shiny. But, like, I didn't know you could just pre-walk your eggs. Like, I did not know that. Like, that's another thing. And on top of that, you can use, like, R4 or, like some sort of save state thing to make it so that if you accidentally lose an egg, you don't have to play through Ranger again to get another one as, like, a backup. And I just feel like, overall, that hunt is just so much more optimized. And it already didn't feel like the worst thing ever when I did it, like, so many years ago. So I definitely want to, like, give it a shot. Are you using an action replay to get the Mew events in the games? No, I used, like, this set of glitches that you can do just all in-game in order to unlock it. The reason you originally went for Gen 1 and 2 shinies was because ability patches didn't exist then. The reason you finished them is because you had some by that point. Took you from 2018 until this week. That's crazy. Ended up with about 4,000 hours in Red Virtual Console, 1,000 hours in Crystal. That's crazy. No free space. Well, for me, I like consider the free space like the hunt that I know I'm gonna like get done that year. If you like to go for the Dragon's Entertaining, maybe you'll replace your free space for that. Yeah, I did that one. That one was cool. That's why I'm prioritizing Mew too. Like, what with the threat of Bank potentially shutting down, like originally Mew was supposed to be like the last thing I hunted for my living decks. But with the threat of Bank shutting down, I'm like, all right, Mew's not that bad. Obviously, I'm getting really unlucky, so it's not as good as I wanted it to be. But like, it's just a runaway hunt. It's not the worst hunt in the world, and it's a really cool shiny. There's a guide on their YouTube that shows how they use the palm egg to get the Mew event item and flag. Yeah, no action replay, no R4, but you can just do those if you want to, if it's easier for you. Yeah, hopefully I get this Mew soon. I want to make some progress on some of the hunts I've planned. All right, I'll go to 17,550 because I'm already 14 in. You love Mew. You remember back in the day begging your mom to drive you to the mall in New Jersey to get it uploaded to your copy of Red? That's awesome. I did not. I was not that old. I was literally when Red and Blue were like released in the North America, I was 0 years old. Yeah, we gotta end with the nice number. It's hard for... Sometimes I do end on weird numbers. When I was going with like doing Bidoof as well, I would end on just like whatever number we ended on. But now that we're just like focusing on Mew, gotta end on the nice number. Which ones are so hot in my room, though? It's gonna suck on Monday. You're 38 now, so you were 13 back then. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't get into the main series until Gen 4, but I owned like I have like Pokemon Snap and like Pokemon Stadium on the N64. Those were like the earliest Pokemon games I played. We were a little behind on like the console thing, on like the video game console. Like we got a Nintendo 64, and then I remember it wasn't like that long until we got a GameCube. And then it was a bit before we got a Wii, but after we got the Wii, my parents were like, we're not buying you any more consoles. But that was like a fine time to like stop getting new consoles, because then it was like the Wii U. Like we had a Wii and an Xbox 360, and we were like content forever. Oh my gosh, I keep missing this one. What the heck? Hate when I do that. to be fair, I'm saying it's hot in this room. I could have grabbed my portable fan. And for Safari, like, well, pre-Safari week, because I'm doing it a little early, I'm gonna do the strat of the portable AC thing and fan crossing into me, and that's gonna hopefully be enough to me not being completely uncomfortable. I really hope I get this shiny soon, though. I'm willing to bet I'm not going to get it before Monday, which at this point it's fine. I'm still disappointed, but we'll do our Safari week, then we'll finish up Mew. I'm just glad I got the Dratini, because now I can set up my Heart Gold Soul Silvers for Safari week, and I can set up my, all the games that I'm going to be hunting, like, mainly Safari week, I can just, like, set up now, because I'm not doing any hunts on them. The only time this is going to be an issue is if I somehow catch, like, almost everything I want in the Safari zones, and then I want to use, like, Emerald for Pikachu. That's the only time it's going to be, like, an annoying thing. What are your targets for Safari Week? Just, like, anything that I don't have. I need most of the things from the Kanto Safari. For where I'm hunting, the only things I won't need will be anything Nidoran male, and I guess technically Tauros, but if I catch a Tauros, if I find and catch a Tauros, that'd be insane. I don't need Tauros, Parasect, anything Nidoran male, and gosh, was there one more? Oh, and then in Heart Gold Soul Silver, the only thing I won't need would be Slowbro. We need, like, everything else, so it's just, like, anything that we need. If we catch it, it'd be great. I would love to get a Nidoran female. Like I have found 5 of the Nidoran male in the Safari Zone and caught all of them. And I've only found 1 Nidoran female. And it's like... And the Nidoran female was a 5% in Fire Red. Like, I'm due for some female ones, and it'd be cool to finish that line. And then, like, I failed 3 executes, so it'd be nice to get an execute and finish the line. You hope I get a Chansey this year? I'm not really... I actually technically don't need Chansey either. But, again, if I find and catch one, it'd be insane. I'm going to be hunting in an area where Chansey doesn't appear, though. For most of it. So, I probably won't get Chansey. There will be so much convection heat transfer happening with those 2 pointed at you. What the heck is convection heat transfer? What the heck does that even mean? Is that fancy talk for cool air? Moving fluid carrying heat away. Interesting. I think if I survive 2022, I think I'll be fine this year. Because yeah, 2022 was not only was it like 90 degrees every day during Safari Week, but it also our AC was broken. So I didn't get like any air in this room, and I survived. So I think I'll survive with the same setup, but also with AC. The issue with the AC is that I'm on the top floor, and there's a vent on the floor, like, over here. And when you step over there, it feels good, like, on your legs. The air just doesn't travel far enough to, like, actually cool this room down. Like, it pretty much just settles in that pocket over there. And that's why it's, like, so hot in here. Because cool air falls. And Warm Air Rises, and I'm on the top floor. All right, no shiny Mew today. Solid chance I do this time. There's a solid chance I actually don't stream tomorrow. I might need like a break before I rush into Safari Week. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of accepting the terms of I won't be getting Mew before Monday. So I might not stream tomorrow, but who knows. But that's going to be it for this stream. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and I will see you next time.